What's up guys, Prince Charming. I am bringing back a series that I haven't done in a long time, the before and after series. We got another video. We're doing 10 kid cartoon characters reimagined as adults. Masha and the Bear, Dora the Explorer, etc. So these are gonna be a kind of throwback cartoons, I would guess. I don't know who the hell Masha the Bear is. I'm sorry. But I haven't done this video in a while, so I hope these do well again. And I hope you guys missed the series. I doubt y'all missed it, but hey, we're doing it again. Don't forget to hit me with a like on this video. Hit that thumbs up button right now. Subscribe and turn your notifications on so you never miss a video. Go ahead and comment a cartoon character you would want to be friends with. I would love to be friends with, like, you know, somebody like Jimmy Neutron, because he can make cool inventions and we can go on adventures, like go to outer space, go to different universes or whatnot. But enough of me talking. Let's go ahead and check out these kid cartoons reimagined as adults. Hope you guys enjoy the video.
Boo from Monsters, Inc. One of our favorite Pixar films is the hilarious Monsters, Inc. The tales of Sully, Mike, and Boo.
Boo from Monsters, Inc.
When we were youngsters, and they make us laugh now. And it's not just us, because it's one of the most financially successful animated films ever. We really like Boo. She's the little girl who won't be frightened, no matter how hard Sully and Mike try to scare her.
Boo was Asian. She had to be Asian.
When she grew up. Here's what we think she looks like. As you can see, she's still got her hair in bunches, and she's still got those trademark big brown eyes. We reckon that she will have grown up to be a big, strong, and confident sort of woman. After all, if Mike and Sully weren't able to scare her, we don't think there's pretty much anything that could have. Here's an interesting thing about Boo. It turns out her real name is Mary. When it was time to write the book based on the film, the author named her after her voice actress, Mary Gibbs. And here's another crazy theory.
Mary!
She's actually the same person as Violet from The Incredibles. Some people look to their similar appearances and the fact that they're more powerful when they're happy. But as much as we'd like to believe that, we think they're totally different people. Agnes from the Despicable Me movies. Perhaps one of the most
weirdest thing ever.
Come out of the world of cinema in the 21st century is the Despicable Me franchise. Just think about it for a moment. The studio behind it, Illumination Entertainment, had never even made a movie before the 2010 film hit cinemas. But the tales of Gru, his adopted daughters Margot, Edith,
so that was
Agnes,
like their first movie, and it blew up.
Wormed their way into the hearts of moviegoers across the globe. We are big
now they made
billions. But today we're going to talk about the youngest of the three sisters who were adopted by Gru and Lucy at the end of the first film. That's right, it's Agnes.
Young Agnes in the cut.
The only one of the three who was totally excited about becoming Gru's adopted daughter. She's the one who is absolutely obsessed with unicorns and feels like she's going to die of happiness and excitement when she wins a fluffy toy. When she's older, we think that she's going to be like
Who is drawing these characters?
Wear something not unlike the clothes she wore.
I mean, it's cool and all, but she got a pig
Margot
nose.
And Edith, a yellow top with denim trousers. And we really,
I mean, she got a pig nose in the movie, though.
Going to keep her love of unicorns. And Kyle, the dog, of course.
I wonder the type of person Boo would be, or her real name is Mary in this situation, like when she gets older. Do you think she remembers the whole Monsters, Inc. situation where she had like a monster friend, Sully, and she had somebody live in her closet or whatnot? Do you think they actually remember that, or you gradually fade away when you get older? Because it would be kind of sad if I find out she doesn't remember Sully, her best friend.
Dora the Explorer.
It's not that serious, though.
Millions of people across the globe spent the 2000s enchanted by Dora the Explorer.
Young Dora.
This Nickelodeon cartoon told the story of a young Mexican-American girl, her pet monkey Boots, and her magical talking backpack. If you aren't a native Spanish speaker, but you know some of the language, there's a good chance that you'll have learned your first words in it through the program. But it wasn't just Spanish that the show
They did
taught.
teach Spanish.
No, there was also math, logic puzzles, and spelling. And who can forget her nemesis, Swiper the thieving fox. Can you remember what Dora had to say to stop Swiper stealing stuff? It was Swiper,
Freddy the Finessing
Swiper,
Fox.
and she had to say it 3 times. Coupled with that catchphrase and the insanely catchy theme song, it's no wonder that Dora the Explorer, which ran for 8 seasons, is still shown today and has been acclaimed as one of children's television's most iconic programs ever. But what do you think will happen to Dora Marquez when
they don't
she
make
grows
new
up?
episodes
Well,
of Dora?
This is what we think she's going to look like. You can see that
That's
she's got
crazy.
her bobbed haircut and her pink top, and best of all, the backpack is still with her. The question now remains, where in the world is Dora going to end up now she's
Why
an
don't you
adult?
get a new
And will she still
haircut?
have to
That's
tell
what I want
Swiper
to know.
Stop swiping. Lenny Loud from The Loud House. One of the most popular
Bro, their
Nickelodeon shows that
last
the
names are
channel has
Loud.
ever put out is The Loud House. The story of Lincoln Loud and his 10 sisters, Lily, Lisa, Lola, Lana, Lucy, Lynn, Luann, Luna, Lori, and Lenny Loud, has been a worldwide smash hit. With so many different characters, it can be kind of hard to pick a favorite. To be honest with you, our favorite changes pretty much every day. However, if you were to ask us right now, we'd say that the Loud House character we like best is Lenny. She's the 16-year-old who is the real
Papa
style
Loud
of the Loud
smashed his
family.
wife how
She's
many
also
times?
Smart, funny, and caring. She's usually able to cope with the challenges of being a teenager who is part of a big family. Having Having said that, she's known to annoy the rest of her family by using the word like a lot. The only thing is, she honestly doesn't use it all that much.
I do that too.
Like, we know, weird, right? But anyway, we're sure that you're wondering what Lenny is going to end up like when she's an adult. Well, here she is.
Okay.
She's so cool looking, and
she kind of got some whacking.
Maintained her totally on-point fashion sense, wearing her shades on her head and her trademark green dress. Let's hope that she can develop the smarts to match her big heart.
Okay, so the thing about Swiper the Fox is I don't understand why he stopped stealing. Just because she says Swiper no swiping 3 times. What is it about that, Swiper? Is that your weakness? Boy, if you don't pull out that damn Glock, that Ruger, and blast her, like what? She over here trying to ruin your operations and you're letting her with 3 magic words, Swiper no swiping? Come on.
Calvin and Hobbes. One tradition that isn't quite as big these days as it used to be is that of the daily newspaper comic strip. These
I remember
3 or 4
those
panel cartoons were, for a great many people, a highlight of their day. If the news was particularly grim, it was something that could raise a smile through some.
I remember going to the library and
them,
reading
there are
Garfield
3 that
comics.
Stood out. There's Charles Schultz's
I love
Peanuts,
the library.
There's Jim Davis's Garfield, and there's Bill Watterson's Calvin and Hobbes. Although it's still being run in print today, the original strip didn't run for all that long, just 10 years between 1985 and 1995. But despite that, millions of people across the world were amused by the antics of the mischievous Calvin and his sarcastic toy tiger, Hobbes.
I didn't know he was a toy for the longest.
Toy as far as Calvin was concerned. He was a real, living, speaking being. The last time we saw the two, they were in a sledge, with Calvin telling his friend, "Let's go exploring." But we, just like everyone else who was enchanted by the comic strip, wondered what happened afterwards.
That's how it ended?
Can you see? Calvin has
Calvin?
a rather stylish young man with his red top and black chinos.
Hobbes looking clean.
Spiky hair, but Hobbes is even better. He's a very noble-looking tiger now.
Hell
Masha,
yeah.
From Masha and the Bear. Most of the cartoon characters that we'll be looking at today were created in the United States. That's not a huge surprise. America is the center of the Western entertainment business, so it makes sense that that's where a lot of our characters originated from. However, this next one is a bit different. It's Masha from Masha and the Bear.
Who are
This
you?
show is Russian, and proudly so. It's based, albeit somewhat
it's
loosely,
Russian.
on an old Russian fairy tale. The show has become a massive worldwide success story. One of its episodes, Recipe for Disaster, is the most watched video on YouTube that isn't a music video. As of October 2016, it had generated 2.5 billion views. That's pretty awe-inspiring, really.
Okay.
Here's another fun fact. Masha's voice in the English language version is done by young American actress Elsie Fisher. If the name and the voice seem to be a little bit familiar to you, that's because you may well have heard her before. Her other famous credit is Agnes from the Despicable Me movies. But anyway, what do we think is going to happen when Masha is a bit older? Here she is. As you can see, she still has her headscarf.
This is so crazy. 2.5 billion views.
Hopefully he's still around.
2.5 billion views, that is not a music video. Do I need to hop on this Masha the Bear trend? Like, what is going on? I didn't know it was that popular. I need 2.5 billion views. You know what I can do with 2.5 billion views? That's about $5 million at the least. Like, honestly.
Raven from Teen Titans.
I can use $5 million.
One of our favorite things is when
Donate to your
someone
boy.
takes a great comic book that we love and turns it into an amazing cartoon. There have been a lot of examples of this over the years, but one of our favorites has got to be Teen Titans. This show was originally a series of comics way back in the early 1980s, but more than 20 years after they first appeared in print, a smart commissioning editor at the Cartoon Network decided to bring them onto the small screen. And that was how the characters not only got a brand new lease of life, but also got introduced to a whole new generation of fans. One of the Titans that we like the most is Raven.
I hate
She's
this
a
new
half-demon,
one though.
half-Azaritic
It's trash.
Who has a dark side to her, but is always ready, willing, and able to control machines with her psionic abilities. Now, we wondered what she'd look like if she were to change her appearance. No, not into her demon form. That's something that never really goes as well as it could. But what she'd look like as a 20-something.
She's kind of bad.
As you can see, she's
That's
still
it?
the Raven we all know.
Come on.
She hasn't
We need
changed her
better.
costume. Dark blue and purple are her favorite colors after all. But there is one big difference. Yes, that's it. Raven is smiling. Rick and Morty. At the things, we
Raven
reckon that
doesn't
if you were
smile,
to
I
ask
forget.
100 people who were born in the 1990s for their favorite cartoon show, the vast majority of them would say Rick and Morty. This
Rick
Cartoon
and
Network show
Morty.
has become quite the go-to place for millennials to get both their laughs and their catchphrases. If you look on social media, the show's titular characters are absolutely everywhere. People can't get enough of the alcoholic scientist Rick Sanchez and his put-upon and gullible grandson, Morty Smith. Did you know that the
Sanchez, he's Mexican?
Justin Roiland voices both of the two main characters? Oh, and if you've always thought that they look a little bit like Doc Brown and
they
Marty
do,
McFly
they
in
are.
the Back to the
Come
Future
on.
films, you'd be onto something. The characters were originally a parody of Doc and Marty. With a lot of the cartoon characters we'll be looking at today, we've had to make them older. Now we've done that with Morty, but what we've done with Rick is that we've made him a little bit younger. So it's like the two are brothers, rather than being grandfather and grandson. You can see that Morty
That's
seems to have
hilarious.
Rick's devil-may-care swagger to him. He's even
And he got swole.
Meanwhile, Rick looks really rather dashing, but his gray hair is now brown, and he looks ready to raise some hell.
He looks ready to raise some hell. They're over here getting thirsty over Rick. So I have finally seen Rick and Morty. It's the first episode. I fell asleep 15 minutes into it, but it was funny, guys. It was really funny. I can see myself watching it. It's just, I have to give myself more time, you know.
Stewie Griffin from Family Guy.
Oh, this
when
weirdo.
Family Guy first premiered on the Fox network in 1999, people went crazy. They had never seen anything quite like it. Now, Seth MacFarlane's fast-paced, wisecracking saga of the Griffin family and their lives in Quahog, Rhode Island, are firmly part of popular culture. The show's characters and catchphrases are familiar to people
What is
who
that?
even watch the program. Now, one of the most popular and certainly one of the most interesting, we think, is Stewie Griffin. He's the
Young
little
Stewie
baby
in the
with
cut.
class British accent. In the early seasons, he had some strong homicidal tendencies and wanted to get rid of his mother, Lois. Fortunately for everybody concerned, this calmed down as the show progressed. More recently, he has been just as outrageous and twice as flamboyant, and he doesn't want to kill anyone. One of the many interesting things about Stewie
Yeah, he turned
is that
into
he turned 1 year old in the first series, but since then, he hasn't aged at all. So we thought about what would happen to Stewie if he aged a lot. How would he be if he were a man in his late middle age? Here you are. What do you think?
Oh.
He evidently grew his hair, only to lose most of it again. He's still
Poor
fitted out in
Stewie.
his dungarees, has a stubbly kind of mustache, and he's smoking a cigar. How lovably sleazy.
I remember this man Stewie really did go from like the realest G, like trapping over here trying to kill people, to wearing purses. I don't know why they changed it, because personally, I personally, you know, like the old Stewie better, but hey, changes necessary? I don't know.
Moana. We all enjoyed the 2016 smash hit movie Moana.
We
Disney's
did?
tale of a Polynesian princess who travels the seas and saves her island from a blight was yet another success from the legendary animation studio. In the title character,
My
we
back
found a
is
new,
killing me.
exciting addition to the pantheon of Disney princesses. Are you ready to see what she looks like as an adult? Here you go. As you can see, she hasn't changed that much. She's a young woman rather than a girl, but she still looks as brave and fearless as she did on the big screen. Moana was a great film that opened up many minds, young and not so young, to different worlds and cultures. What was so awesome is that many of the movie's voice cast were of either Hawaiian, Maori, or Polynesian descent. Let's look at Moana's Auli'i Cravalho. She's a native Hawaiian. She was just 14 when the film was cast, 2 years younger than her character is when we meet her. There's
Wow.
also Dwayne Johnson. The former WWE champion is of Samoan origin. And
We know
has
The
known
Rock.
to watch the country's rugby union team. He's even admitted that rugby is the hardest physical challenge he's ever competed in. And that's got us all
Rugby
thinking,
is hard.
what's the toughest physical challenge you've ever taken part in? Let us know in the comments.
That was it for that video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. So that was before and after kid cartoons reimagined as adults. Wow. I feel so old. But don't forget to hit me with a like, subscribe, and comment on this video. If you want to reply from yours truly, Prince Charming. My name is Prince Ohakam. Stay charming, my friends.